right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Hi, welcome to Control Talk Now, international style. This is episode 282 for the week ending September 9th, 2018. My name is Eric Stromquist. I am in Italy, and I am talking with your host and mine, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Kenny, football player in Smyers from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Kenny, man, welcome to the show, big dog.
Well, thank you very much, Eric. It's great to see you having a wonderful time there in Italy. I'm a little bit jealous. I always love traveling, especially in these rustic places that are historic, yet perfectly preserved.
Dude,
love the pictures. Keep them coming.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, it is working me over. My wife's brother got married, okay? So destination wedding. So check this out. You know, we have to prep formal wear to wear to the wedding because it's at this villa. We got all that packed. I got 2 small kids, 2 car seats, their stuff, all our stuff. There's not enough hands, dude. Me getting on and off trains with the kids, the car seats. We must have held up 3 trains already, man. They think we're crazy, damn Americans. It's been so friggin' stressful. I've already had a massive case of gout. All right, so you know I've been to an Italian doctor, which in and of itself was an event. One of those town Cortona, which is up on the top of a mountain. And so you have to park way down the hill. And here I can barely walk. The pharmacia, you know, my wife calls the pharmacia. They said, the doctor said, we can't give you anything, but the doctor's here till 12. So at 11:45, I'm humping up this hill and all kinds of pains, tears running down my face. I get to the pharmacia and they go, oh, no, the doctor's not here. Because when they say here, it means like in the city. So now I got 8 minutes to go. I'm hauling ass to go to this doctor. Anyway, long story short, right before he closes, I get in. I bend over. He shoots me full of steroids. Gives me some prescriptions for some gout drugs, and so I'm a lot better now. The good thing is, okay, so to get the gout medicine in the States, to 30 tablets is like $100, right? Here, 60 tablets, 1 milligram, not the half milligram what you get in the States, is €7, about $8 for 60 tablets. He wrote me a prescription for 10. I've been going to every pharmacy I can and buying these things up. So pretty much anybody in Italy that has gout has to come see me. And what's the relevance to that? If you think about it, it's how we used to play the controls game, right? I mean, you think about, you would get the system, you get the proprietary protocol, you get your control system in, and if they wanted to do any upgrades, they had to come see you, right? So the game
lock and load, baby.
Right.
Hold them ransom. Well, you know what? I admire your. That's a tenacious effort to take 2 kids across the world and then go to a bunch of things like you're an ordinary player there. Shopping is an extreme event. Going to a wedding, everybody on their best behavior. But the kids look magnificent. You look like you had a great time. I mean, it looked
my kids are good, but right now they've taken pictures of them after the last restaurant. They're on Italians Most Wanted. They're saying if you see this family come with these 2 kids, don't let him in, because Axel's literally got spaghetti all over his face. He's throwing it around. He's yelling and screaming. And it's like, you just can't be cool in those situations. What are you going to do? I mean, and our community out there that's a little bit younger than me and Kenny realize that, raising kids is a young man's game, and I probably should have retired a long time ago. But I love the kids. They're great. And to their credit, they're tired, but we've been riding trains everywhere. I got one last story, and then we'll get back to this. So I'm taking this calming sort of powder, right, to make me real calm. So we load up to go from Tuscany to visit our friends in Modena, right, which is a train ride and a half. You got to make a train station. So I'm determined I'm going to be cool about this whole thing. So I got all the luggage loaded up. We take the first train, which goes 30 minutes before you get on the train that goes to Modena, right? And also I'm looking around the luggage. I'm going, man, I'm really getting good with this luggage. I'm getting dialed into this, right? So I'm figuring out how to do the 2 car seats and all this stuff. And I go, man, I'm really getting good at this. And I kind of look around and go, where's my camera bag? I've got Leica cameras, right? And I mean, I got 10 grand versus and the computer, right? So anyway, it's we're there, and my wife is awesome in a crisis. So she calls our friend Nayeli, who we're visiting now. Nayeli gets on the phone. They figure out it's a coffee shop we stopped at. Anyway, long story short, My wife hops on a train to go back to get my camera bag. I got Evie and Axel with all this bags. We cannot go anywhere. We're in this train station, and guess what they're doing in there? They start
Right.
renovating with the salt. I mean, literally the whole place is vibrating. So anyway, I'm just at this point, what do? You just survive, eat, love, pray, whatever. But we can't eat anything because we can't go anyplace. So I'm doing a lot of praying. But anyway, so Anna gets back 2 minutes before the train leaves to go to Medina. So we looked all this stuff up, carried up, get on the train, and we arrive. So we had our freak out yesterday. Axel's having his freak out today, and I've got a little bit of a reprieve because I get to talk to you in the Control Trends community. So, man, this is good stuff. So, man, enough of that. What do we have going on this week in Control World?
Man, that is a true adventure, man. I was jealous because that's what defines your memory. Will be so in indelible ink, where the trauma, the emotion, the events. But I'll tell you what, that's what life's all about, man.
Well,
The fact that you got it done, the fact that you didn't lose your treasure chest, and that Anna was a soldier, got it done. I mean, that's just congratulations to the Stromquist family.
Yeah, well, it reminds me a little bit of our trips for the EZIO meetings. For our community out there, you've got to go to the EZIO Global meeting. I think it's going to be in Rome this year, and those meetings are awesome, absolutely awesome. But Kenny and I usually try to make a stop before we get there. And the one thing I can tell you, because Kenny and I have always tried to do the Jack Kerouac on the road, which is we'll just find a hotel when we get there. They usually have these things coincide with Fashion Week. And how many hundreds and hundreds of miles that we have to drive to try to find a hotel?
Yeah,
anyway,
that was in London. Yeah, we went about 40 miles, 50 miles. Well, it's kilometers there, but about 50 kilometers outside the city before we started seeing hotels, and even they were not either they were too high priced or questionable. If we'd get out alive. So we just kept pressing on. But congratulations. I think it's exciting. To your point, I have a younger daughter, or my oldest daughter, Sabrina, is due in November. My brother's daughter's due today, I think. So nice. It's just an amazing cycle of life, and to bring an analogy into this, to the control world, and to bring a proprietary analogy into having all the medicines for your gout. That's truly a trooper. You never lost track of the control mentality there.
Yeah.
But it was a kind of a very, it wasn't a compelling week, but it was a steady. There's so much going on in our industry. We had just announcements. We got just some bread and butter posts. We start off with a HVACR careers, choosing the right state to live in and to work in. And it was it's worth reading. Emerson did the project. We got to give credit to Becky Holsler. It's from AC Connect, which is a marketing arm of Emerson. But I thought it was really neat because they list the states, the top 10 states, and fortunately Georgia's in there, and so is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I think, is number 6. Georgia's number 8. But the top state in the United States for an HVAC technician, as far as amount of work, pay rates, and whatever, is Ohio, followed by California. Then you've got New Jersey, and take a look at the post because it's kind of interesting. But it says Ohio tops the list with more than 1,400 certified technicians, a competitive medium salary, and almost 9,000 openings in 8 accredited trade schools. California comes in second overall, but tops the list when it comes to the number of open positions. There's 22,000 certified technicians, and they have the highest hourly wage in the country. So I think it's again, it's a testament. We're talking about our Control Trends Young Guns Awards. Every chance we get, we try to espouse and help say the message. Make our industry is truly a growing industry. It's a thriving industry. I recently was at the 449 Innovation Center. It's an amazing facility, and they're getting finally pulling in some talent. And one of the key recruitment areas, the automotive industry, because they actually work with very similar tools for diagnosis and just diagnostic runs using a computer.
It gets back to kind of what we've been talking about for a while. The trend about the gray hairs retiring, and there's not enough people coming in the industry. So it sounds like the word's getting out. Emerson is obviously pointing out that this is such a great opportunity, such a great industry to get into. And I think there's so many industries. I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to have lawyers and doctors in our industry before too long, just because they're using artificial intelligence, right? I mean, I think like 30% of the legal jobs, from my understanding, are going to go away because a lot of this research is done much better by artificial intelligence and computers. So next time you see a lawyer tries to see it,
the lawyer profession is actually one of the strongest hits, more like 80%.
80%, yeah. So
No,
next time a lawyer gives you crap, look at him and say, "Hey, buddy, you're going to be working for me one day. I'm in the true field now.
dead
We
trade
actually make
blocking.
stuff. We're not taking stuff from people. We're making stuff." So,
Yeah, I mean, I think they're number two on the list of automobile drivers, limousine drivers, truck drivers as a whole are the number one profession going to get hit. 3.2 million people that Elon Musk, his technologies, if they do take hold and quickly, could displace millions of people
so
that
we
are
got room
present.
for them in our industry, Kenny. We got room.
Well, that's the truth. So technicians, guys that can make things, and guys and girls. In fact, that was another input we have. Engineered Systems came up with a top 20 women to watch in the HVAC, and we're going to notify. We are going to put a few people that a few of our favorites in on for that award. But women are going to help fill the gap. It was like I told you back in the Air Force, we had a shortage of 811 XOs, which was security specialists, and there was some heavy lifting involved. There was carrying a machine gun, M60s and whatever, and so it wasn't a very attractive to profession in general because it was hard work, a lot of outside work. So they opened the career field to women, and if they put them through a beta test period to see if they can handle it, and sure enough, they didn't just handle it, but they excelled. They became very, very good security specialists, and they were very reliable, and they were very motivated, and that just it kind of just brought a whole thrust into the whole career field because number one, we had enough people to do things right, and number two, the women had achieved a benchmark where there was no longer any question that they were able to do it. And I think in this HVAC world, we're seeing the same kind of roll over into the can we do it? Yes, can we do it? And pretty well, they're going to compete very strongly because not only can they do it, but they can do it very well, and they're very reliable. They have a whole different passion towards it, so they're always trying to achieve. And so anyhow, that's a good post.
Well, listen, before we head to the next one, I want to do a special shout out to a gentleman that most of our community might not know, but it's a company that makes great products. Stromquist actually handles a company called Lloyd Tech. They make really, really wonderful building automation controls. And they got a great U.S. representative guy named Daryl Clausen. And Daryl is kind of a one-man band. I think you're going to hear more and more about Lloyd Tech, but they are kind of like the Rolls-Royce of control systems, if you will. I think they're going to be coming on with the Control Trends community and the Control Trends Awards this year. So special shout out to Daryl, and we look forward to getting you guys more information on Lloyd Tech. But if you get a chance to check them out, you can go to the Stromquist website if you want to and check them out there. But cool. What will you have next, big dog?
Well, just another sponsor that came on this week. Thank you very much to the Control Code folks. I didn't realize how large and the Control Code. The building's IoT has 3 companies underneath it, and they came on board as a gold sponsor. But I got we're going to be putting a post up there soon. But as a reminder, Buildings IoT has Control Co. distribution arm Cadaro, which is a third-party analytics program that they work with a Dell approach, and then OTI, operational technology integration. And so just amazing growth from Buildings IoT, and thank you very much. They came on as gold sponsors this week. So
well, thank you very much. And that's a great family. The Turner families are involved in that. Terry Turner, who I guess brought Control Co from a guy named George Johnson back in the day, and George was one of the veterans of our industry, one of the really, really great players. And Terry, of course, is a stalwart in our industry, always has been. And his son Brian is, I think, responsible for a lot of this sort of innovation and renovation that is going on in the industry. He and Scott Cochran from Cochran Supply are two of the younger guys in our industry that are really leaving their mark and doing a great job. So, Brian, Terry, thanks so much for the sponsorship. Italy's expensive, and if my kid keeps breaking stuff, I might not be able to afford to come home, which you guys might like, but keep those sponsorships coming.
Well, we recognized Brian Turner and Scott Cochran back in 2013. That's where they really started to break the mold, set new standards, going outside the envelope and realizing where the industry was going. And it was very fortunate that we were able to take advantage. The distribution channel was able to learn a little bit more about being the smarts and parts approach to a system solution all the way up to integration. So, all right, well, that transitions us into another platinum sponsor, Johnson Controls Integrated Comfort Solution webinar. This is coming up on September 20th. It is a 6-way valve actuator and terminal units, the efficient HVAC system of choice for your building. And this is a very granular. So these kind of webinars, everybody, if you spend the time, you walk away learning something more about the whole concept of the hydronics and efficiencies and what makes equipment efficient and inefficient. So it's a 1-hour webinar. It's going to be on Thursday, September 20th, Central Standard Time. And understand why terminal units paired with 6-way water valves and a 260-degree proportional actuator, 270-degree proportional actuator is the right choice for energy-efficient buildings. This integrated approach allows you to take full advantage of the new technologies and energy savings from the chilled beam systems and fan coil units matched with new control valves. So it's a great look ahead. These guys are the tip of the spear with technologies as it's applied to efficiency in buildings. And so,
270-degree stroke, I've never heard of that before. So it must have to do with the chill beam and the actuators you use for that.
well, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of an actuator.
Stroke.
Yeah, well, I think it's because you have to keep stroking to accommodate the exchange and the different valving patterns. As things open and close, you keep on going. But you're right. That's
well, we might not know the answer to that right now, folks. But we'll attend that webinar and we'll be able to tell you about it. Or you can attend the webinar and tell us about it. One way or another, we're going to know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Next up, we had EasyIO's education and training announcement and advanced class training schedule. So another just giant step forward with EasyIO. They're doing it right. They took on more people, and as you do that, you have a broader shovel into the industry because this is a national scope here. The locations, which we have links to all the distributors that are having it. We have in Brody Precision in Philadelphia on September 18th. Control Co. Nashville 18th, Cochran Supply Madison Heights on the 19th, and then Control Consultants October 20th in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Then there's two on a to be determined schedule in the Bay Area, and then I believe they'll be down in Atlanta at Stromquist probably.
Rob Allen, you better be booking that. You better be booking my man Gina Elliott, my man Mike Marson. I tell you what, But for those of you who don't know, Rob Allen's running the day-to-day at Stromquist now, so I get to give him a little bit of what. So, Rob, this is what you got to get done this week. Get that thing squared away with EasyIO, like now. All right, what do we have next, Big Dog?
Well, it's just, again, and the training requirements are on the site. If you look at them, there's a lot of free information. There's a lot of updated CPT tools have been updated. And check the post out, and you'll get the gist of it. Lastly, we have Project Haystack Connections Magazine. We have a great post from our friends at Project Haystack. We have first, it's a great article because they keep us to date. Robin Vestal, she's the editor of Connection Magazines and Project Haystack, does a great job of summarizing just how much Project Haystack has grown, and how they're excited to announce that the next issue is now published in January 2019, is looking for authors or people that have written important and relevant information about connections through Haystack, tagging, semantics. They're going to update it's a global effort on the development of working groups, the new tagging models, the reference implementations, the complementary applications that are provided, and the use case stories and studies from the community working together. But if you go onto Control Trends and you hit that, you'll see an amazing digital presentation of Project Haystack, and the Connections magazine is actually cool. Of course, they're also soliciting, anybody that wants to advertise. They reach now 8,000 readers, subscribed readers.
Nice.
So it's an esoteric group. When we're in this business, as we know in Control Trends, when we say we have 3,000 people hitting the site, I mean, those aren't 3,000 mailmen and bakery workers. These are people in the control industry, in the HVAC. Yeah. These are the elite bread and butter folks that really make decisions, influence within their organization. So if you want to advertise, contact Robin Vestal. The contact information is on the site, and she can put you in touch with, or she can get you into the next edition of Connections. So Project Haystack Connections.
You and I were at the very, very first meeting that they had in Chattanooga, 5 years ago, and this isn't going away. I mean, congratulations to that team at Project Haystack, from Mark Peacock, John Petsy, Robin Bessel is brilliant. but they're changing our industry, and it is happening whether you like it or not. So as my friend Marshall Thurber used to say, or my teacher Marshall Thurber used to say, if you want to be successful, you can either try to start a parade or you can find one and just get in the front of it and lead the one that's already going. And this parade's taken off. So
Sure is.
check it out for
Especially
sure.
when they got endorsed, recently by some of the industry stalwarts.
Oh yeah,
Word again, but when Niagara 4 adopted it, and those Kevin Smith said, we're all about Project Haystack and
yeah.
tagging. That kind of really, again, that was a big weight thrown into their corner. But that's it, Eric. We had a couple shout outs, industry shout
Well,
outs.
listen, hey, first of all, shout out to Kevin Smith, man. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He
Oh, he
runs.
sure is.
He makes it happen at Tritium, and him and Ed Merwin and the rest of the team at Tritium. That's a shout out for me to you guys. All right, who you got, Kenny?
Well, no, I was trying to transition because I've been sitting here biting my tongue when I was going to say it. But there was an interesting post that Mark Peacock put up there, and basically it's a visual presentation of a man in a suit in a swimming pool leaning against the side doing his office work, which could be dangerous electrically. But let's not talk about that. But he's actually kicking his legs and doing water aerobics while he's working. So it said it's the new office, wellness, well-being, productivity, comfort, occupant experience, the all-new way. So I wrote in that comment to Mark, I said, I bet Eric will be the first one we know that'll get one of these. So I just want to let you know that 13 other people think so too and have made comments or
Well, you
associated.
guys must be spying on me because, my wife's brother Ari got married, in Tuscany, and so we had rented a villa with several other people, and he had a villa. It was just spectacular. But our villa had like 10 rooms where we had like 10 people there, and they had a swimming pool there. And literally after the wedding, I had some work to do, and I got into the pool with my suit on. And had the computer. I was working with the laptop, doing some stuff, and the only thing that was missing from the picture you had was you had to have a cocktail. Then you would have had it, right? Because
Well, congratulations. See, I knew I had that vision. I said, Eric, that's all about Eric.
yeah,
But we had just a couple other ones. We had Amity McClellan had a 4-year anniversary. Let's see, we had a couple folks celebrating their anniversaries with the different manufacturers, different vendors, different contractors. So it's a really neat feature that they give you on this on LinkedIn, and then you get a chance to say, "Hey, well done." But yeah, Emily McClellan, she's on her 4th year with Hetzel and Bueller, and Ted Lambert just celebrated a work
nice.
anniversary too. So congratulations! Please keep them coming. We like to see it. Dave Bonafili had a too.
A couple of things, Kenny. Do you have any more? Was that it?
No, that was it. I just popped up here. But
so
no.
maybe think about something. So a couple of things Kenny and I are going to be doing when I get back in town. One of them is we're going to have a calendar because we want more and more guests on the show. So we're endeavoring to get a calendar where you can sign up to come on our show. Which until then, just reach out to me or Kenny. We'd love to have that. But the other thing Kenny and I are talking about doing every year at the end of the year is like top 15 who's who to watch in 2019 or whatever. So you can begin to send us ideas and concepts on that, which we'll do. And then, the show will get longer, obviously, because of internet and bandwidth. We're going to keep this one short as well as the rest of the ones while I'm in Europe. The game plan right now is for me to wind up at the Belimo Platinum meeting in Lucerne, Switzerland. So looking forward to that and catching up with Lars von der Hagen and the rest of the team at Belimo, who, by the way, is a Platinum sponsor. We really appreciate you guys for that as well. And then, Kenny, I think the big thing is just plan on coming to Atlanta. Get ready to drink your mint juleps. Get ready to look around at people when they say, you need to do this, and say, well, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn because we got a Gone with the Wind theme going on. Right. And it's going to be big times. But, there's still sponsorships available. Like I said, we got to try to get Eric out of Italy because my kids are wrecking the country, and there's probably going to be a pretty high bounty.
Going to affect the balance of trade, huh?
You're going to affect the balance of trade for sure. But that's kind of what I got, buddy. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I do have one more. We were able to visit with Siemens this week, and we met the new SRA marketing lead, Mickey Mantis. She has an incredible background in marketing and social media. Worked with some of the big people, LinkedIn, Facebook, has a very, very deep background. She's coming in to do digital and social IDing for Siemens now. And
Nice.
so I just want to say thanks to Josh Felpin. Siemens, of course, is in on as a platinum sponsor too. But I just want to put a little leak out there that, as we always talked about, the race to the small space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and of course it was thermostatic driven, at the very beginning with the, all the commercial or light commercial applications where a thermostat could be a good fit, because at least you had something. You had the near field communication, or I'm sorry, you had the geofencing, you had different smart features in it, the two sensors in there, so you could do good occupancy, and basically they were able to be integrated into automated demand response. So if these different grid areas where there was issues, brownouts or whatever, you could set all the thermostats back. And again, one of the cool things we learned from this information was that thermostats can be actually thrown into battery backup operations, so they can be totally off the grid for short periods of time, save a great deal of energy and shift it to where it's needed. But Siemens is getting ready to release something that's going to be a big player in the medium to small building spaces.
Nice.
It's a DeSigo product, and it's coming out in October. And they're going to be
Nice.
working with us to get we're going to get the opportunity to be one of the release media vehicles that they have.
Perfect.
So we're excited about that. So thank you, Mickey, and we're looking forward to working.
Yeah,
with
welcome to the industry. We'll look forward to working with her. So, all right, Kenny, there you have it. Another week on Control Talk. Now your smart buildings video cast and podcast for the week ending September 9th, 2018. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm Eric Stromquist. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Remember, be bold, stay in control, stay relevant.
Indeed, Eric.
Indeed, Kenny Smyers.